As global demand for clean energy solutions, electric vehicles, renewable energy storage, and nuclear power increases, critical minerals are becoming more valuable, not to mention AI. In this next sponsored segment, we'll speak with the CEO and Director of mining exploration company Saga Metals Corporation, Michael Stier, about this growing market. The exploration of these critical minerals supports North America's ambitions for energy independence, technological development, and reducing reliance on foreign mineral supplies, especially from China, positioning Saga Metals as a key player in future resource security. Michael, good to see you today. Do you see Saga Metals as a multi-asset producer or a company focused on a single flagship mine? Tell us more about the company.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on today. So I see it as a multi-asset company. We're a diversified critical mineral company with projects in Quebec and Labrador. And the focus there is giving investors the opportunity to have access to multiple critical minerals and not just chasing one.
Now, you say a lot of juniors have good geology, but poor execution. What makes Saga different in how you operate and allocate capital?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not the case for every company that's out there, but for Saga, I think that we've done the hard work of putting together the right team. Michael Garrigan's a 20-year exploration geologist and comes from a family of geologists. And, he's put a robust team around him. He's had extensive experience with B2 Gold Corp. And, we have the benefit of having some of those executives supporting us, not only in terms of investment, but on advisory boards to help support and guide the decisions that we're making on the ground.
So can you walk us through each of your four projects? You've got Radar, Double Mur, Legacy Emerald, and Northwind, and also just how they fit together strategically.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, being diversified, our goal was to find different critical minerals, but all kind of within a condensed area so that we could manage it from one central hub. We're not chasing different projects all over the globe. Again, coming back to Michael Garrigan, the thesis was always around Labrador being a very underexplored, often overlooked jurisdiction, very favorable jurisdiction for mining, top tier, around the globe. And so that's where we looked for these projects where, ground was available for staking. People aren't looking there. So we were able to keep our cost of acquisition extremely low, keep dilution in the company very low, and put together very strong projects with high potential. Starting obviously with the one in Quebec, that was kind of an undeniable place to start, just given the fact that everything that was going on with Hard Rock Lithium in James Bay. We again picked up the majority of that ground in the eastern part of James Bay before the majority of people kind of filled in the gaps. We knew of some other players that were there, including Winsome Resources, and this trend that was kind of heading from their Adina project to the southeast, and we followed that trend and picked up about 34,000 hectares. We then did a couple programs on that property, garnered some fairly significant data in terms of lithium anomalism and other pathfinder elements. And we went and spoke to the likes of Rio Tinto and were able to garner a $44 million option agreement whereby they could earn up to 75% of that project. So that allowed them to be operators of the Legacy project and allowed us to focus on our other projects over in Labrador. I'll probably just focus in on Double Mare and the Radar project. Double Mare being our uranium asset. Again, both of these projects are on the east coast of Labrador, right, with shipping routes out into the Atlantic Ocean. Our uranium asset is primed and ready for this kind of continued boom that we're seeing in interest in uranium and just nuclear energy and clean energy in general. We've got an 18-kilometer strike, about 11 miles, and very prospective for uranium. We sit just south of two of the largest uranium deposits in Eastern Canada. We've got confirmed mineralization across this entire 18 kilometers, and so we're ready to drill. And that's probably something that we'll tackle next year. In the meantime, on the radar titanium vanadium project, we've identified a 20-kilometer aerial oxide layering strike. We've already drilled 2,200 meters of it. That's kind of the start on the eastern part of the property. And right now we're actively drilling on the western part, our trapper zone, about a 3-kilometer strike length that will essentially bookend 16 kilometers of our 20-kilometer strike, proving just the absolute size and potential of this project. That earlier program was very successful, and we expect the same thing from this forthcoming program that is currently underway. And that's going to be a 15,000 meter program that will bring us to an indicated mineral resource estimate by 2026.
Sounds all quite promising, and like you've made a lot of progress so far already. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for right now, but folks are welcome to look into this further. Saga Metals is the company. Thank you so much for your time today, Mike Stier. Good to speak with you.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate that.